I know is every time we talked about the possibility of peace, the stock market shot up like a rocket ship. It never went down. They didn't like it. The people, the stock market is more brilliant than anybody there is, including the people on the stage, other than me, of course. Let's see. I don't know. What do you think, Scott? Is the stock market more brilliant than you?
No, sir.
Aside from the pathetic nature of these yes men, focus on what Trump is saying. Or, as famed actor John C. Reilly puts it,
capitalism is amoral.
Yep.
It doesn't give a about ethics.
Yep.
It just wants your money, but it's dressed up in all these different ways.
He, like many others, understand the grave danger of capitalism and how it has enabled someone like Trump and many others, like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, who we'll talk about in a moment, and more, throughout history.
No matter how many surgeries you have or chemicals you inject, if you're born with male DNA in every cell of your body, you can never become a woman. You're not going to be a woman.
As we see the attacks ongoing from MAGA.
In terms of like standing up for gay people or standing up for the rights of anyone to express themselves in the gender that they want or in the sexual way that they want or whatever, I was raised by gay people. I came from a super hardcore Catholic, Irish Catholic, tough neighborhood. But the people I gravitated to were gay. They weren't out, but like the nuns at the school where I did plays at this girls' school, like those were gay women. They taught me how to sing. They taught me how to do musicals. At some point you mature and you're like, well, just because I advocate for gay people doesn't shade me as gay. I owe so much to those people of that artistic bent and that kind of philosophy. Like, why wouldn't I protect those people?
Reilly pays homage to those who made his career into what it is today. Speaking of Musk, when he is not, per reports, tripping on ketamine and potentially other psychedelic drugs, he's saying nonsense like this.
I think the fundamental moral flaw of the left is empathy for the criminals and not empathy for the victims. Empathy for the criminals, but not empathy for the victims. And there's been way too much of that. That needs to stop.
And talking nonstop about empathy, likely because he lacks it in his very troubled life.
If you stand up for human rights, why is that a right or a left thing? Why aren't people on the right wing concerned about human rights? They're human too. This whole thing that like kind of has come into vogue of like empathy trap. It's an empathy trap. Like that's what Elon Musk says. Like empathy is like, don't be fooled by the empathy trap.
Yes.
Stick to your agenda and what's best for you.
Holy fuck.
Don't start feeling bad for so and so. They're on their own thing. Look out for number one. Like it's like, wait a minute. Empathy is not a trap. Empathy is a superpower.
That's right.
It's what makes human beings exceptional. Our ability to like look outside of ourselves. We're not an alligator trying to just get the next fish. We're human beings. We can relate to something that's not us. That like that's a superpower. And it's also the cornerstone of civilization.
Reilly dispels Elon's diatribes, which shows us just so much. Mainly, how it is what brings us together. In addition, as written by Business Insider, Reilly framed empathy as the glue that holds social contracts together. He used a traffic light as an example. A driver without empathy would run a red light to get to their destination faster, he said, and risk smashing into other cars. And it's very Catholic too, he told host Ilana Glazer. Do unto others, treat your brother as you would treat yourself. It's crazy that we have to argue for these things right now. That's a really upside-down world feeling for me. As we have noted previously, John C. Reilly is not alone in these critiques on the topic of Elon Musk and empathy.
It was said in Washington not too long ago, America, the problem with America, we have too much empathy. Well, you can live a life, you can accomplish, you can accumulate a lot of stuff. You can fill your house and then fill your garage and fill your basement, but you cannot live a rich life if you don't have empathy.
I do think that this is a fantastic discussion, that if you have the time, you want to listen to it at 2, 3, 4 times the speed, go for it. As a researcher, it's what I do. But what I will say is you should absolutely go and listen to it, because John C. Reilly goes over his past, the present, the future, his kids, how he met his wife, how meeting his wife led him to having the career he currently has, and much more. On the topic of empathy, I will just share what I've been through, okay? And I've talked about it a little bit in the past. But if it wasn't for people being empathetic to me, I don't know where I would be. Because once upon a time, I looked very different than I look now. I had a very long surgery on my jaw. It was about a 6.5 hour surgery, and I was wired shut for about 2 to 3 months, I want to say. And I was crapped on a lot as a kid. And as an adult, you know, I had braces for a long, long time because they were just trying to straighten it out as much as possible. And you really learn who you can rely on. You learn who will have your back. You learn who is empathetic. And if it wasn't for me going through that and learning the true meaning of empathy, again, I don't know where I would be. I don't know how I would feel about the world. I'd probably feel really upset and mad at it. And what would prevent me from feeling that way? Empathetic people. I really don't know why this is viewed as such a crutch for so many on the right. I do understand for someone like Elon Musk, because he views empathy as a handout in some ways. In others, he views it as undeserving. Totally undeserving. He thinks being empathetic is being weak. Meanwhile, he has like 12 kids, bitch tits, and is taking advantage of people left and right in order to become the world's first trillionaire, which should not exist. I already think billionaires are too much. A trillionaire? You don't make your way to having that many zeros by being empathetic. You don't view another person as just that, a person. You view them as someone you could take advantage of, and how you can, in many ways, view them as an opportunity to either leapfrog them or push them down further in society. That is why they do this. I'm glad John C. Reilly is saying this. I'm glad Henry Winkler is saying this. Is it going to move the needle? Is it going to help them get more DSA candidates or even further left candidates that will tax people like Elon Musk? I don't know. I hope so. I think John C. Reilly's critique of capitalism is a net positive, because I have had these discussions with a lot of people, and I am hopeful that we can live in a world and in a society, especially in this country, where the working class is not taken advantage of, but rather unites for the common good. That is my hope, and I hope it is yours as well. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.